It is legal. Legal. That means okay to be ambitious, to have ambition. But ambition is not allowable in the court of God, in the house of God. I want you to mark it. As far as my knowledge in the Bible is concerned now, up to date, I don't know whether I will have extra knowledge or I'll be convinced tomorrow. But as far as I know in scriptures, up to as we are talking now, in the things of God, the gift of God, I don't think ambition is allowed. Are you listening to what I'm saying? You can have desires, but not as you can have ambition in the secular. You can have ambitions in the secular. I want to become this, and then you strain and you become, and you struggle to become it. In the things of God, in the courts of God, I don't think that is allowable. You know the reason why? How can you be ambitious for something that is God alone that holds prerogative over it? It's God alone that determines where a person should get to and where another person should get to. He has designed the destinies of what individuals will do. I'm talking about in his own things, not in the secular. You can have an ambition to become a medical doctor. You can have an ambition to be a big businesswoman. You can have an ambition to be a professor. That is in the secular. But in the house of God, in the things of God, why can you be ambitious for what he has not called you to? He says they are calling. And he says it in Hebrews chapter 5. He says, no man taketh this honor on himself. He says, except those who are called, even as Aaron was called. He says, no man has the power to take anything and put it on himself. He says, except that those that God called. So for me personally, I don't see where ambition is here. It's something that he assigns to people, and after he has assigned it, then he begins to measure them, whether they became what he wants them to become. The only place where a person can be ambitious is when he has delineated and confirmed that this is what God has called me to. Then you be ambitious in what he has called you to be the best. That God has called me to lead songs in his court. And then I'm be ambitious in that place that anywhere that I lead songs, they will know that something dropped. I'm not going to lead songs and everything will be flat. Something will drop in people's lives. God has called me to be a preacher and be ambitious in that place. But as to getting something, I don't think a person can be ambitious in the court of God. I don't think so. I'll listen to what I'm saying. Because maybe you should remind me. I noticed that in the Bible, that most people that became something in the Bible did not plan to become it. You don't understand what I'm talking about? We have, for example, said, my father, my father. The chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. But when you check the life of Elisha, he did not join Elijah for the purpose of receiving anointing from him. God just called him and said, well, become his servant. And he became servant and was doing the work of servant. Joshua received the anointing from Moses in Deuteronomy 34. But he didn't join Moses and became the servant of Moses as he was referred to, so that he would collect anointing. They didn't in the Bible. So if they didn't do that, it meant they didn't have ambition to become anything.